remodels the physical structure of the brain. These are the new findings, that it remodels the structure of the brain, making us more receptive to be joyful and connect socially. So that's the reason, just like in primitive days, movement, it gives you joy, it makes you want to connect with other people, and that's why it's going to help even in your, this stage of your life. And new studies indicate that muscles secrete hormones. So not just your pituitary or your hypothalamus, but even your muscle secretes hormones very similar to cannabinoids or cannabis. So it's almost like a drug. Okay? And when you do it for a long term, you exercise for 6 weeks or so, it helps in reducing anxiety, depression, and then optimizing your brain function also. Okay? And it's not just long walks which gives you that high. You need to do a little bit more cardio. I'm not talking marathon running, but about 20-minute run that will give you a runner's high, and that will get your happy hormones up. Then one of the most important things, you tend to get less and less happy with age, which is a problem. Like, there's no motivation to do anything. You realize, there's no motivation. 13% reduction in dopamine, 13% with each passing year. That's no joke. We need to keep our happy hormones high. So we got to do everything in our power to stay the same how we are, right? In our 20s, we were so, joyful, full of hope, motivation. But what's happening, in your 40s and 50s? It's just going down, and it's not you. It's the chemicals in your body. We shouldn't think, oh, it's just me getting sloppy. No, it's just the body trying to tell you something, and we can do something about it. Okay, so dopamine regulates mood, motivation, pleasure, and motor control. And like I was saying, even the muscles produce hormones called irisin and myokines. It helps reduce the inflammation in the body and brain. And inflammation is, that is the culprit for a lot of things, a lot of diseases, even cancer. So, it's good to keep your lean muscle mass up. It's all the more important. And then bone health. Okay? So, why do you think it's important to have strong bones as you age?
Use a break.
Yeah, exactly. So people don't think, but exercise is definitely related to bone health. And every 7 years, your whole skeleton changes, remodels itself. So the skeleton you had at 20 is not the one you have at 30, not the one you have at 40. So all the more reason that we need to protect and keep the bone density high. Okay. And the percentage loss is 6 to 15% loss during perimenopause and 0.5 to 1% loss per year after menopause. And you're talking about 10 years time where the body is losing bone mass. Okay. Bone health also depends on the age that you go into menopause. If you go earlier on, then again you're at a higher risk. So the longer it takes time for you to reach menopause, that's a good thing. So your genes, chronic illness, all affect, how much bone density that you can have. Then preventing osteoporosis. According to the Royal Osteoporosis Society, exercise should be strong. In the sense there should be enough resistance and multi-directional movement. Okay, so strength training, very important. You don't have to lift very heavy weights, but you start by body weight first. So that's why we use TRX, we use other equipment, and to give that resistance against the bone, so you can keep your muscle mass up. So it should be strong and it should be steady. In the sense, I tried this. Exercise, so I thought I'll take breaks. But no, it doesn't really help. You need to keep it steady, and you can reduce the intensity, but work out to some activity. coordination, and motor skills. Because after 60, the chances of you falling and injuring yourself or even getting bedridden drastically goes up. Okay, so how how you train your body now with regards to balance, coordination, strength, um, even cardiovascular health, that matters another 10 years, and how you're going to be at 80. You can, I believe, you still can have a 50, 60-year-old body even at 80 if you take care of yourself now, right? Spine care is important. So for that, even yoga is good to keep your spine flexibility. Push-ups, pull-ups, straining, bending, lifting, all day-to-day functions that you do. But you will be able to do it later also without other people's help. That's the idea. You need to be independent as long as possible. So for that, you got to train in this way. Yeah. So resistance training, any exercises that involves lifting, pulling with suspension, kettlebell, body weight, machines even are good. And it has to be progressive. So if you're a complete beginner, you can't lift a very heavy weight. Okay? It needs to be start with body weight training, then you slowly add on. Okay? It has to be progressive, and the body will definitely respond very well if you progressively overload. Okay? And also, when you change the movements that you do every day, new neural pathways in your brain are activated. So this is good for preventing against Alzheimer's, dementia, all of those things. So I'm not trying to promote this with you, but our workouts are different every day. Everyone's guessing what do I do next. So that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be a boring every day I do 10, every day I do 10 triceps. But if you're guessing, and it's good for your mind. And so from 18 to 65 levels, repetitions 8 to 12, so lower repetitions, minimum of at least 2 days of strength training, non-consecutive days. And after 65, the frequency needs to increase. Okay, so you need to at least do 3 or more. But repetitions, 10 to 15 repetitions, that is after 65. So you understand that we don't slow down here. Idea is to fight against that, the lethargy and all those other things which come against you. Okay? So you keep strength training at your level. That is important. And this is a really big mind shift for to get your grandparents, like my father, to do resistance training after 65. They used to walking, they used to sing, but then I think we need to keep hammering on, and saying, let's do this together, encourage them to do. So resistance training not just to build lean mass, but it reduces inflammation, which causes autoimmune disease, which very common now. It's coming from nowhere, all these things, right? But so the solution is things like resistance training. And if you have lean muscle mass, even the symptoms come down. 50% less hot flushes if you have muscle mass. Then about the pelvic floor, quick reminder guys. This is another area where ladies tend to, suffer. So the pelvic muscle is over here. It connects all the way from the pubic bone and goes back towards your tailbone. Okay, all the way back. So keeping that strong, that is important. So if you have any issues with that, leakage, etc., do consult a gynecologist. Check with them and take precautions now itself, because yes, that is one of the other areas, especially after childbirth and all. Connects from pubic bone to tailbone. It weakens with childbirth, lowering estrogen. Estrogen comes down, so again, because of that, it can loosen the muscle. Estrogen is an anabolic or muscle building hormone that prevents breakdown of protein. Leakage is an obstacle to exercise. Some ladies, they get worried to exercise because of this. So we need to take care of that. Okay? And my favorite and our favorite topic, nutrition. for weight loss in your 40s. Good news is, I'm happy about it because you can eat all groups. Like for most of my life, you're frowning upon carbohydrates, right? But now in your 40s, you can have some carbs. Okay, so you don't run away from carbs, but there is a way of doing it. Okay, and 20s, 30s, no, it doesn't work, especially because if you do drastic diets, your metabolism will slow down. And I personally experienced, I'll come to that later, there's bloating also. If you try to cram in a lot of food in a small window, there's a lot of bloating issues. So it doesn't work. And women gain about 1 kg a year during perimenopause, and yeah, because of the drop in estrogen. Yeah, so I've already gained, although I don't look it, I have gained from 40, okay, say 40 hours in a drastic diet, but just in the last few months I've gained about 3 kg. So yeah, so if you don't take precautions now, we are at a problem. Okay? So that's all. Again, what becomes important for weight loss is managing the cortisol and keeping the blood sugar steady. So no up and down spikes. When you eat cakes and cookies and all of that, up and down spike happens, right? But to keep your stress levels low and also keep the sugar steady. So, and then no drastic loss, but you can eat about 500 calories less. For this, you might have to check how much you're having in a day. 500 calories less if you're eating will help you lose about 500 to 700 grams loss a week. And that is fine. Slow and steady weight loss is fine. Okay, we're not going to drastic, but it needs to be sustainable. It's important. So what do you eat? It's more about the blood sugar and cortisol, not ruling out all any of the food groups. So you are having protein, you are having good fats, you are having good carbs and vegetables, fruits, everything. But yeah, strictly added sugar not required, not an excuse. That is not a carb that we're looking at. But complex carbohydrates like whole grain, pulse, brown rice, vegetables have fiber. So incorporate that. And protein from natural sources without preservatives. Vegetarian is fine, but animal proteins are better. But again, moderate. We're not going overboard with protein also. That's another mistake I feel I was making before. Unless you're an athlete and you're training for something, you don't need a whole lot of protein. Yeah, so micronutrients from fresh leafy vegetables and fruit. And caffeine also can vary your blood sugar. So if your blood sugar goes up and down, you are prone to insulin resistance. So caffeine intake also, there's 1 to 2 cups, that's it, and definitely not anything after 2 to 30, because that's going to interfere with your sleep cycle. And we have to sleep in our 40s, because during that 8 hours window, your body is repairing, your cortisol level comes down, you actually lose weight when you're sleeping 8 hours. Okay, so that is important. So for symptom management, the hot flushes, etc., some things you can have is like estrogen mimicking food, like soya, flaxseed, whole grains, legumes. It's like estrogen, but not quite, but it's going to help you. Okay? And omega-3 fatty acids you can get from walnuts, chia, and fish, etc. Fruits and vegetables, that's going to improve your gut health. But lifestyle changes are more important, like eating mindfully. Sometimes we need to ask, am I hungry? Wait till you're hungry. Not because it's the right time. Wait till you're hungry and eat without gadgets. Very important. So you're chewing your food. Every time you chew your food, you're decreasing the what do you call it, necessity for the digestive system to do overload work. So there'll be less bloating. So chewing the food and just mindful eating and relaxation techniques like things like no gadgets before sleeping. All of those things will help. Keeping your temperature, room temperature cool. That's really helped me to sleep. I only put it at like 21, 22 degrees. Make sure that is the, that is the temperature which works for me. So find out what works for you, what is working for you. And yeah, and good sleep hygiene, not eating very close to sleep time, that's also important. But when you eat close to sleeping time, again cortisol level goes up. Then there's too much food in the stomach. So 2 hours before, that makes a lot of difference. You can have a nibble of some nuts or something if you want, but no heavy meals strictly in that window, 2 hours. Yeah. And now portion sizes, this even I'm not happy about. So you're not supposed to have a dinner plate size. Our regular dinner plate size we pack on, right? So what, because we are eating 3 meals and 2 snacks, that's the recommended thing. It's the size of the side plate. So just check your palm. My palm is even smaller, but it's this much that you need to have. Okay, so the food portion needs to come down. But you're having veggies, half of it veggies, include greens. I would say this quarter should be greens. Then you have your proteins, it includes nuts, eggs, yogurt, etc. And then quarter carbs. So that is the discipline that you need to maintain. Yes, you're having carbs, but it's small quantity and good carbs. Okay? Then you need to check, have I eaten enough before you want to go for the seconds. And obviously, if you're losing weight, seconds should be more veggies and fruits, not in dessert and stuff like that. Yeah, so snack can be, if you have the snack, whole fruit, no juices.
Incoming call from Darling identified by Truecaller.
Okay. So what this kind of diet does is, when you're having breakfast, lunch and dinner, it will keep your energy levels also steady throughout the day. And then it will keep your metabolism high. That will be important as you age. Otherwise, you'll be eating this much and putting on weight. So that is an issue. But eat clean. That is very important. Yeah, so check yourself. You need to ask, are you eating out of boredom? Are you stressed? No gadgets, then clearing out kitchen from junk food. Yeah, I mean, if you have kids, they will hopefully, come into life, but for your sake, you need to clear out the kitchen and not have junk food. Yeah, and ask yourself what you're eating, would you give it to your kids? Because most of the time, our kids will be like, eat healthy. While we're just grazing food, right? We don't sit down, we don't chew our food. We just while cooking, eat something and eat in a hurry. But how would you treat your child? So you've got to treat yourself the same way. Um, yeah, and you need to feel that satisfaction of having a meal. You feel the satisfaction when you take that time to have. Okay, anybody heard of FODMAP? Uh, it's food which causes a lot of gas and bloating. Have you heard of it? No. So when it comes to gut health, if you have a lot of bloating and gas, things like this, chickpeas, dairy, apple, onions, garlic, peas. Onion peas, wheat, etc. Those are, if you feel a lot of gas, these are the culprits. Okay? So you can choose low FODMAP food like capsicum, orange, grapes, eggs, oats, rice, dark chocolate, milk, peanuts. So that is easier on your stomach for digestion. And another thing which a lot of people don't do is have diversity in your food. So it's not only colorful, but just try it for 1 or 2 weeks. How many plant-based foods are you having? Like even nuts, you can consider as plant-based. So beans, vegetables, fruit, pulses. What's the variety that you're having? So when you're going shopping on Saturday, on the weekend, make sure you have, buy enough of variety, colors, etc. Because all of this is going to give you antioxidants, it's going to increase your fiber, and gut is your second brain. So it's going to keep you looking great as well. So take care of these things. Okay? Yeah. Stools. Okay, interesting. Okay, so although even if you don't have like painful constipation, if your stools are like this, which often happens when you're having too much of protein shake and stuff like that, it is not healthy. Okay? So it needs to be type 4 type. Okay, so keep in mind, to that you're eating enough fiber, about 4 to 5 cups a day actually, to keep the bowels moving, and you need to go every day pretty much. Okay, so otherwise it's just toxins building in your body, and you need to make sure that you're having regular bowel movements. Yeah, my favorite topic about intermittent fasting. So that's what I was trying to tell. That it doesn't quite work because you're trying to cram in a lot of food in a shorter time, and then it causes a lot of bloating, and it's harder to do as well. I was wondering why one day Sunita came and said it's so hard to fast, and I get it now because it's because of all the cortisols are always high. You've got other stresses going on in life, so that makes it harder to do intermittent fasting. If you are doing, then the best time to do is from the about 2 days after your period till about 10 days if you are doing about 16 hours fasting. But otherwise, you got the second half of the cycle, you have to have your breakfast and relax. I'm curious to know how you are doing it in Ramadan. Over 50 is not eating at all. Does it throw off your cycles? After Ramzan, does your cycle go off?
Change.
Do you miss period and stuff? Anything like that? Not happen like that?
But the change is like your hormones change.
But your dates change a bit.
That's it.
Great, yeah. So, but has it crossed, like have you not had a period? That not so much. Probably because you're making up
like
afterwards.
You are like how many hours?
Okay, not eating for about 12 hours.
12 hours.
So I would have thought, yeah. So that's interesting. But then you break it in a healthy way. That's there, and you're calmer, you're meditating. So that would keep your cortisol in check. But I think anyone else just trying to fast long is going to cause a lot of issues. But what happens is, this discipline we can keep. 12 hours just to let your body digest. See, 9 o'clock you finish dinner. Wait till the morning. Overnight grazing, not a good habit. That will not help. So that's just going to, store fat if you're grazing overnight. But at least morning 9 you're waiting means, your body is repairing itself and it will help in weight loss. So that discipline, 12 hours is fine. Overnight fasting. What about supplements? Who's on supplements at the moment? What do you say? No supplements. You're on? Fish oil. Okay.
And collagen.
Collagen. Any other supplements?
They actually wanted to know like what kind of supplements to take, what to take, because they are not taking anything. So
Because
they
you want to do a blood work. I think it's very important to get your blood tested and do it twice. If you can do it twice, fine. But vitamin D and B highly deficient, and that brings your mood down a lot. Lack of vitamin D and B, and also you're exercising. You'll have body pain. Vitamin D is low. The chances of you twisting your leg or some kind of fracture is very high. So extremely important. Take D supplement is important. B is important, and for me magnesium has been a life changer. Glycinate I have taken. Anybody tried the all three magnesium types together?
No. I have taken magnesium. so.
All three together. I'm not sure how effective that will be, but specifically glycinate for me, it helps me sleep like a log. So 8 hours I'm in bed. Now like by 9, 10 I'm in bed and I'm up by 4, even 4:35 I'm comfortable. If I need more sleep, it's 10 to 6. But otherwise, even when I get up at 10 from at 4:30 or so, body is fine. But the essential time is that 10 o'clock time or even before 11, you need to sleep. So that's the circadian rhythm that the body tries to keep. So you get your best sleep, best rest at that time. So you got to fight for it. All your parties, keep it for weekends perhaps, but at least Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday, just keep that 10 o'clock. After 10, just switch off. And even 2 hours before, switch off gadgets, etc. to get good sleep. Okay? Yeah. Vitamin B is required because however much you're eating, I mean, I'm a non-vegetarian, but I eat maybe once a week or something, like beef and stuff, but still I'm vitamin D deficient. So that's why I'm saying you've got to get a blood check done once a year must. And only if we take care of ourselves, we can take care of others. Always remember. Okay. So other supplements, there's ashwagandha, which is herbal, that also calms and relaxes. There's evening primrose. There's something called triphala that, have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you seen any effect? Okay, so Ayurveda ones are there, which helps to helps in digestion and stuff. Triphala specifically. And evening primrose is you've taken evening primrose, no? Evening primrose. So it's supposed to help in hot flushes. Hot flushes. So these are the kind of herbal things which I recommend. I personally, for me, ashwagandha, no, not strong enough. Magnesium is what did it. Triphala, at that point, I didn't see the need for it, but now I am keen to try and see for digestion. But this is not. Huh? Triphala, no. These, no. This you don't need, and even magnesium glycinate you don't need. But vitamin D.
So what is that magnesium?
Glycinate. Yeah. It's nothing but something which is going to help you relax, calm down at night. And it's often found in green leaves, but they just don't eat enough.
So that's chocolate is like important.
Yeah. Yes. So every day or I take it every day.
So which one is that?
So I'll tell you that. But get a blood check done. I will say D, I will check only and take. Other things I'll check only and take B and D. But magnesium is working for me, so I'm more than happy to take it. What's the one change you're going to make? We're almost done. So want to ask y'all, what is the one change that you're going to make? Now that you've heard so much.
No, I want to ask, what can we do for this inflammation? Really?
So inflammation comes from what? Mostly sugary food, oily food, lack of exercise, all of those things, right? So completely stop the added sugars. We don't need it. And if you're making anything fried, make it at home. So you know the oil that you're using. It's not vegetable oils, sunflower oils. Use more coconut, olive oil. There's another peanut oil also people use. So yeah, that's one thing. Sugars. I would say homemade, home cooked is best. Home cooked for any kind of inflammation because we know what is exactly is going in, the ingredients going in, how much is going in. Everything. Even if you make something sugary, like you can make the jaggery instead of other sugars, and we control it at home. Outside, when they make the intention is for us to make us eat more, right? So they put more salt and more fried and more crispy and everything. So yeah, so inflammation, those things, and fat itself is an inflammatory thing. So the more you focus on reducing that, and automatically it will come down. Any other questions? See, if you don't have sleep issues, you don't have to worry.
Sleep issue. I don't get up in the middle of the night to use the washroom. That's
But you're able to sleep again?
Yeah, I go back maybe 10 minutes. After that, I'm back to.
So you can have most of
However hard I try not to get up in the middle of the night, it comes. I mean, I have to use them.
So have most of your water during the day.
I try.
How much water are you drinking?
I'm drinking. I try to finish my water intake before 5. Invariably, still at least once in the middle of the night, I have to get up. Otherwise, even if I try to control, it's even worse because that kills my sleep. So I just get up, use the room, and then I just come back and then I'm.
How much do you have water? 12
8, yeah, 7, 8.
It's normal.
It's normal, but I think my body is used to it.
Is it after childbirth any difference like that? Or so we don't know if the muscles are loose there, there's something to think about.
And then I go back to, I sleep,
This-
and then I get up and it's sleep.
Yeah, disturbed sleep is not good, to be honest.
That's what somebody else is telling me. How do you get up and then how do you get disturbed when you get up to use it? And then I said, like, if I don't use it, and it's kind of your body is reminding you, get up, go to the loo, otherwise you're not able to sleep.
Okay.
I tried that also, to control, like, okay, push it, but then that's bad.
It's that urgent.
Yeah, and then now, let me just go and then come back and then I'm back.
But you've got to think about the strength of the muscles there. So it would be an issue there. Because usually 8 hours, everybody, if you pee and then sleep, anyone should be able to wait for 8 hours. Sleeping time, yeah, sleeping time.
Sleeping time, yeah, 10 to 5,
Yeah.
But then I do get up.
Yeah, that doesn't seem quite right to me.
You can check it with me.
Yeah, like every day.
Every day, yes. Every day.
That doesn't sound good.
By 3, maybe 3 or 3:30, I just get up.
Because you are getting disturbed one thing, but you don't need magnesium, I would say. This is related to your bladder issue. So, yeah,
Do check.
you can check about that.
Just the border.
Okay. That's good. As long as your HDL is high, LDL is low, it's fine. Anything else you have on us?
These were also like sleeping disturbed.
Please start your magnesium because all my clients, when they start it, they're like, oh, I'm done.
So which one, like, do you have to consult the doctor for that?
Not required. You can get healthy, A brand is there. You can,
So that's basically magnesium is there to sleep only.
there are different types, but glycinate especially is for sleep.
Just, I will,
Yeah.
I will try to
Yeah.
walk into the
Check with your grandmother and see what, tell that you're going so often in the night. Maybe she will.
once only I'm going. It's not like once only I'm going. But then,
See, I know men have more of this issue.
I go once. And then I'm like, okay. 3 hours to go. I'm near bed sleep. See, I don't want my sleep to be disturbed, so I just don't make any noise.
I get up. I'm
I
for hours.
don't want to,
I'm up for
but my
hours.
body is
Seriously.
See, when you sleep at 10, you like stay together.
Now,
sleep and you go up by 4:35. You don't get up in between.
No, you shouldn't be. Check.
So apart from vitamin D, B, magnesium, what's like supplements, like these are the main ones?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I personally take a multivitamin every other day as well.
But it's a must, right? Multivitamin is a must, right?
Yeah, see how you feel after the B and D. But generally, our food doesn't have enough.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
keep
And
that
you don't eat that much of
very So it's fine to have a multivitamin, but again, that should not replace your food. Your food still should be colorful. You still need to have, because your gut bacteria depends on the vegetables you eat. So if you're not eating enough vegetables, that's going to cause issues. So yeah, you still have to eat vegetables. You can't just pop a pill and then. Anything else? What change are you going to make? Still
Still doing exercise.
Yes.
I have to run, I have to be. Yeah. And it's
Sleep,
exercise.
Once you start,
I always recommend my mom also to do some form of exercise. No, at least something like at least a 15 minutes workout.
walk,
Anything.
Yeah, anything. But see, that's the thing, that walking alone is not enough. It's functional training.
Yeah, because exactly. Some
It's like, see, lunges we do, it's going to help you climb stairs when you're older. This squats you do, it's going to help get up from the sofa when you're older. And it's going to help your knees be strong. So all of the functional moves that you do, that's going to have some effect on your day-to-day life. You want to take something from the shelf. For that your back muscles, all that should be strong. So, and carrying your
your
heavy,
overall body, you need to do some form of
squats,
exercise.
lunges, push-up, pull-ups. There is no shame. We've got enough of ladies gyms like ours. You can come and our coaches will scale down. And initially, whoever comes, they're a bit skeptical, but then after a month, they love it. But you got to challenge your body. You got to challenge your body. It's not aging gracefully. It's not just I don't know what. Just doing walks and building away. No, the body, you have to stress the muscles. That muscle stress is enough. It has to be there. So we never become like men, but we still have to push. The push-ups, all of that. Anything else? Let me know if you have any questions to answer. But yeah, so everybody's going to start resistance training. Start here, you do blood test. You do blood test.
No, we know I have to ask you.
Yeah, so please, blood test